Wildcat Basketball is on the air from St. Paul in the Butler Center on the campus of St. Catherine University. We welcome you in as today the Wildcats, a MIAC showdown against a red-hot Bethel University Royals team. And with that, we welcome you into the Butler Center. Matt Nelson, so happy to be with you, and glad that you can spend a part of your weekend with us as we bring you the Wildcats and the Royals. Our engineer today is Glenn Thompson. Once again, I'm Matt Nelson. Tom Witchin is in the house. The boss of TJSportsOnline.net in here taking in the action as well today. And the great start to 2018 for the Wildcats. Their last time out, 63-59 win against St. Mary's on Wednesday night. Alexis Garcia, career high with 26 points. Meg Clark, efficient night. 7 of 11, 22 points. That was good for a career high as well to go along with 6 assists. The magic number these last few times out has been 63 points. The Wildcats in their last 3 games have scored exactly 63 points all 3 games, and they've got a 2-1 record in that time. The wins against Morris and against St. Mary's on Wednesday night. Again, it was a great second half, and the Wildcats were paced by their 2 seniors. Meg Clark and Alexis Garcia both had career-high scoring totals, and they accounted for 30 of St. Kate's 33 second-half points in the 63-59 win over St. Mary's. The 2 seniors I mentioned had career highs. Clark with 22, Garcia had 26. How about this Bethel team for John Herbrick-Schmeier? They made the postseason last year. They're 7-4 overall and 2-2 in the MIAC. And their last time out, they blew out St. Olaf. 78-42 was the final in that game. Tate Anderson had 16 points. Jasmine Bretoy had 14 as well. But Tate Anderson, dangerous player, just under 15 points per game, shoots 55% from the floor. Good sophomore out of White Bear Lake. Good free throw shooter as well. Another player having just a great season is Abby Miller. No surprise. The senior is an experienced player. Great three-point shooter. 14 points per game and a 43% shooting percentage from long range. 87% from the line. Just a very good, trusted three-point shooter. And then Kirkhoff as well. Angie Kirkhoff, 5'8" senior guard out of Barrington, Illinois. Trusted 6.5 points per game. Veteran player. And the Wildcats, again today, no Donica Cambryce and no Audra Clark, both out 17 and 15 points per game respectively. And so they're missing yet again today. But looked like in pregame warm-ups that Caitlin Strumke will be back from her injury. She missed Wednesday night's game against St. Mary's. Looked like she'll be back. Let's catch up with head coach Don Mulhern.
Our Wildcat pregame show is back on the air on a Saturday afternoon from St. Paul in the Butler Center. As always, we catch up with head coach Don Mulhern. And, Coach, you got 2018 off on a winning note. What a great win against St. Mary's. I'd imagine there was a little bit of trepidation or angst when you looked up at that scoreboard early in the first quarter. It was 11-0, but your team showed some very nice grit and resilience coming back and finding a way.
And I think that those 2 words, grit and resilience, are 2 really appropriate words that we've used a lot this week. We did show that. St. Mary's jumped off to a very good start against us, and we didn't kind of do the oh my bit. We just kind of got dug down a little bit deeper and kind of became matter of fact, and I was really proud of our response.
Here we are. We're closing in. I mean, we're in 2018, where quickly the spring will be approaching. You rely on your seniors to give you great minutes and production. Garcia, another career high in points. Clark, another career high in points. They got it done for you on Wednesday.
They did get it done, and I didn't know that there was both of those career highs. Hopefully we can, keep adding on that kind of thing. They played really well, and they played really well down the stretch. I mean, that was a game where St. Mary's jumped on top. We came back, and then St. Mary's made a run late, and we did a really good job of maintaining our composure. And we had to get some big baskets late in that game when St. Mary's was really coming back, and Meg and Alexis in that time really played like seniors, and very proud of them. Something that you called out a couple of times on our pregame chats I thought was evident on Wednesday night, and that was the idea of not being able to control whether or not the ball goes through the basket, but you can control finding good shots. I thought the shot selection was great in the second half especially. That makes me smile when you say that, because it's a truth. You can control your selection. The outcome you can't always control. And when they were playing some zone defense on us, we did a great job of maintaining ball movement, of not getting kind of flustered, not forcing shots. And I just agree with you. Our shot selection, as we we allowed the offense to take care of getting the good shots, and then we hit them, which obviously is a big deal too. But you're right about that. Our shot selection was very good.
Another reoccurring theme this season, and it's been a good one, has been you go into that bench and you find another player who can contribute. I thought Silman played well on Wednesday.
Bailey played very well. Bailey attacked the basket in the open court transition. She's really effective. She really gets to the hole, dishes, knocked down some big perimeter shots, played very well. And, she's getting better every day in practice, and she loves the game, loves to compete. And, today, hopefully it's another, kind of what I call new sub off the bench. But I guess the point is that we're trying to find those girls, and they step up, different girls on different dates. It's been kind of fun.
How much do you know about Bethel? They're playing well right now. They've won 4 in a row, and their backcourt can really score.
They're good. They are really good. They've got a lot of upperclassmen leadership. They've got players that have played in different high schools that have been very successful, so they have a winning mentality. They played early this year, George Fox, great team, and had a heck of a game against them. They don't have any weaknesses. Perimeter game, good shooters, good post players, very well coached and well balanced, and just a very good solid team that you look at them and you're like, well, I'm not quite sure where we have to attack, but we'll try to do some things, but they're good.
I know you really, one thing that I saw Wednesday and then in the game against Morris as well, and I'm sure we'll see it here again today against Bethel, is doesn't matter with the personnel that you put out there. It could be 5 freshmen. It could be a mix of one of the 2 seniors and underclassmen. You really insist on pushing that pace offensively, and that's something you don't always see out of teams, but they really seem to have bought into that.
It's fun. And I think the whole key to that is that in practice you have to expect that. But what you said is right. We're a lot better team when we create mayhem. I know that's the word mayhem is sort of not a positive word, but it actually is a positive word. We have to create mayhem, really push the ball, create a frenzy and that kind of thing. And our players have really bought into that and like that, and it's fun. So I appreciate what you're saying, is that the people off the bench, they like to do that and get after let's go, 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 and we've done it pretty well.
It's going to be a good one today. Bethel made the postseason last year. You guys did as well. I think it's going to be a great game. Coach, best of luck today with the Royals.
All right, thank you. Hopefully we can give you another entertaining game.
There he goes. That's Don Mulhern, head coach for St. Kate's and the Wildcats. We've got starting lineups in the tip coming up. It's Bethel and St. Kate's. Let's send it downstairs for the national anthem. It's the Bethel University Royals and St. Kate's and the Wildcats on a Saturday afternoon from St. Paul. Starting lineups being introduced downstairs. We'll take you through them as they're introduced. First off for Bethel University and the Royals, Tate Anderson, 5'10" sophomore forward out of White Bear Lake. Good player, 14.5 points per game. On the other side, it's Morgan Kurth, 5'7" freshman forward out of Hutchinson, Minnesota. For the Royals, now being introduced is Abby Miller, 5'3" senior guard out of Howard Lake, Minnesota. Just over 14 points per game for the 5'3" senior. And Ashley Fosness, 5'9" freshman guard, Britain, South Dakota, introduced, wears number 5 for St. Kate's and the Wildcats. Angie Kirchhoff, 5'8" senior guard for Bethel out of Barrington, Illinois, 6.5 points per game. And she's listed as a guard as well. So she joins Miller in the backcourt. Veteran player Meg Clark, 5'6" senior guard, coming off of a career high on Wednesday night against St. Mary's. 5'6" senior out of Kenyon, Minnesota for the Bethel Royals. Haley Barker, 5'5", sophomore guard out of Maple Grove, 3.5 points per game. Joins Miller and Kirchhoff in the backcourt. Sophomore out of Cretin-Derham Hall High School for St. Kate's, Jackie Radford, 5'9", 7 points per game, 8 boards per contest as well for the sophomore Radford. On the other side, it's the senior 6'1" out of Duluth, Hannah Johnson introduced. Johnson, 13.5 points per game, 9.5 boards. Started all 11 games this season for Bethel. And Alexis Garcia, last but certainly not least, the forward coming off 2 career games, 21 points in the win against Morris and 26 points in the win against St. Mary's. So back-to-back games with career high in scoring for Garcia, and she's got 47 points scored in those last 2 games. So just unbelievable stuff for Alexis Garcia. She has been the hot hand for Don Mulhern, and I'm sure they'll rely upon her as well today. Bethel riding a 4-game winning streak. As we're ready for Wildcat basketball, the 4-game winning streak for Bethel at St. Mary's, and then at the Daytona Beach shootout down in Daytona Beach, Florida. Wins over St. Vincent's College and McMurray College before coming back into the land of 10,000 Lakes and drubbing St. Olaf on Wednesday night, 78-42. They drilled them. Tate Anderson had 16 points. Brett Toy off the bench had 14. The Wildcats' 2-game winning streak against Morris and St. Mary's. And on Wednesday night, Garcia's 26 points led the way. Meg Clark had 22, which was good for a career high as well. Bethel at 2-2, looking up at the Augies, the Gusties, the Tommies, and the Blazers. And St. Kate's tied with St. Mary's, and looking up at Carleton, and looking up at Concordia and Bethel at 2-2. Off we go. Bethel wins the tip. And on a Saturday afternoon, we've got the Royals and the Cats in the Butler Center. In the corner goes Bethel. That's Kirchhoff's first touch of the day. Swing at top of the key for Miller. Now Bethel on their first possession. Nearly turned it over. Radford almost peeled it away from Hannah Johnson. She managed to get it back. Now Anderson drives on Kurth. Her right-handed layup is up, and it is in. It's the first bucket for Tate Anderson, the 5'10" sophomore, the forward. Just under 15 points per game. She led the way with 16 last time out in the win against St. Olaf. She puts Bethel on top by 2, and the Wildcats turn it over on their first possession as Radford lost the handle underneath the basket. 2-0 lead early for Bethel. We dusted it off on Wednesday night. We might as well do the same here on the Saturday. Let's make this broadcast interactive. Wildcats booth at gmail.com is the inbox. If you want to interact with the broadcast, we'll make sure to get you a shout out on air, whether you're cheering for the Royals or the Cats this afternoon. It's Kirchhoff. She puts it right into the corner for Anderson. She'll give it a couple of dribbles as she's harassed by Garcia. Goes to the wing, now drives in, spins, makes a move. Her layup is high off of the window, no good. Anderson wanted a foul, didn't get it. Weak side rebound for Radford. Let us know where you're listening from on this cold Saturday. I think it was something like 15 below last night. That's Fosness. Got bumped as she tried to drive baseline, was denied. Puts it back up top for Radford. Now Meg Clark gets it down low for Alexis Garcia. Nice pass from Clark and a good finish for Alexis Garcia, who scored the first 10 Wildcat points on Wednesday night. Once again, the email address, wildcatsbooth@gmail.com. Let us know who you're rooting for and where you're watching and listening from. Long pass, Kirchhoff got it to the right side on the wing. Now a couple of dribbles for Miller. Her floater is an air ball. Rebound Radford, who's been so good on the glass all season long. Radford with 8.6 rebounds per game. Tied up at 2 minutes in. Earth for Radford. Now it's Garcia with it. Down low for Clark in the post right side. Back to the free throw line. Fosness drives. Her shot was blocked. Got it back. Pinned under the basket. 8 seconds left to work with. Fosness retreats. Gets it to Clark. Now Radford. She'll hoist up a three-pointer and knock it down. Radford has struggled greatly shooting the three this season. She's just 1 of 17, but now she's 2 of 18 as Radford puts the Wildcats on top by 3. Low lining shot as the shot clock was winding down, but Radford finds her mark. 2.5 minutes in, the Wildcats lead at 5-2. Barker or Kirchhoff into the post for Johnson. She's quickly double teamed and lost it. It was stolen away by Kurth. Garcia has it. Now she nearly lost it, but managed to get it into the front court for Meg Clark. Frenetic, chaotic basketball, just like Don Mulhern likes it. Clark's layup is short. It's tapped out of bounds. Last touch by Bethel and the Royals. So the Wildcats will keep it with 30 seconds on their shot clock. 7:08 left on the clock here in the first period. In the early goings from St. Paul, Garcia on the inbound, spins, shoots, and rebound Johnson. Barker pushes the pace. Kirchhoff nearly had it stripped away. Anderson was able to collect it, walk it in, and finish it off. So it's Tate Anderson's second bucket of the afternoon. She's got all four Bethel points, and the Wildcats lead is trimmed to just 1. Garcia calls out the play, guarded tightly by Barker. Now Radford around a screen from Clark, who wound up on her backside. Radford nearly lost it. Got it to Garcia. Baseline drive. She'll give it a turn, put it up with the left hand. That shot is off, but Garcia got her own rebound, but it was stripped away by Tate Anderson. Bethel going the other way with it, with Anderson. She'll defer to Miller. Three-pointer short. Rebound Kirchhoff. Strong side. Bethel gets the offensive board. They'll go down low for Johnson, but Radford poked it away again. Radford so far has gotten the better of Johnson. Fosness drives, and her shot was blocked by Johnson. Garcia got it back. Layup no good. And a jump ball is going to be called. Garcia got tied up with Anderson and with Kirchhoff. So the Wildcats hang on to the lead, and Don Mulhern is going to go into his bench for the first time. Brooke Torvik and is going to come in alongside of Bailey Silman. Kurth to the bench, and Fosness as well. We'll get a breather. 4 minutes into the first quarter, and the Wildcats leading by 1. Pass came in, got away from Silman, trying to chase it down. It's into the backcourt, and they say it was touched, so no over and back called. John Herbichmeyer begged to differ, but the officials say Bethel touched it. Now Clark driving to the basket. She lays it off of the window, and the Wildcats lead by 3. Meg Clark off of a career-high 21 points on Wednesday night as her first 2 of the ball game, and it's 7-4. Now going the other way, Kirchhoff. Bretoy finds Anderson. Her 3 is short. Radford another rebound. She averages more than 8 a game, and early here, Radford very active on the glass. 5:20 left in the first quarter. Had it for Meg Clark. She lost it. Miller got tripped up in the process. It's out of bounds, but it's Wildcat ball. Milton for the first time, and a breather for the senior Alexis Garcia. Good start, though, for Alexis. Got an early bucket, and now we'll get a breather. Played good defense as well. 7-4 the score. Wildcats on top early against a very good and very hot Bethel team, riding a 4-game winning streak. This is going to be a turnover. Torvik floated it down low. Nobody was home. Bretoy. In the corner for Miller. She'll go down low with it for Anderson. Back outside. Bretoy knocks down a three-pointer. Bretoy playing in her 12th game this season. She's actually started 6 games. Today she comes off of the bench and knocks down a three-pointer to tie it at 7 apiece. She had a good game against St. Olaf with 14 points. Second leading scorer for Bethel. 4:35 left in the first quarter. Radford drives, dishes. Miltz in the back door, lays it up and in easily. Nice looking play. Miltz scores. Miltz playing 8 minutes a game this season, and now has played in all 13 games for St. Kate's, sporting that 6-6 record coming into today's action. Miller denied her baseline drive by Torvik. Comes back up top for Anderson, so swing it around for Bretoy. She'll charge in, pass for Johnson. Baseline drive, layup is good. Hannah Johnson's first bucket of the afternoon. She averages nearly a double-double, 13.5 points per game to go along with 9.5 rebounds. She has her first bucket, and we're tied back up at 9 apiece. Bethel ties it at 9. Now Radford, who hit a 3 earlier. Brooke Torvik, the freshman out of Rice, denied her baseline drive. Now Miltz or Silman, who played very well against St. Mary's, and now a foul's going to be called. Pass down low for Meg Clark, and before the shot, the foul is going to be called against Abby Miller. The senior Miller called for her first. It's the first foul against either team through 6.5 minutes of basketball. Strumke in, and Emma Nelson, as well as Radford and Miltz back to the bench for Don Mulhern. Strumke was out with an injury on Wednesday night. She returns here today. There's number 31, Wildcats going left to right with the home gold jerseys as Silman is fouled by Haley Barker. Second foul against Bethel in the first quarter. First against Barker with the score tied at 9 apiece. Fresh shot clock for St. Kate's. And Clark will inbound quickly. Shot put up by Torvik. A little bit strong with it. And rebound Bethel. Our first look at Hannah Simpson as she brings down the rebound. Retoy, dangerous three-point shooter. Now Simpson. She drives with the right hand. Tried to get it in the corner. It was stolen away by Silman. Great defense by the youngster Silman. Now in transition. Found Nelson with it. Her layup off. Rebound Torvik. That put back no good. Strumke came up with it and finished it off. Caitlin Strumke finishes it off. Third time is a charm for Don Mulhern's team. And now a foul against Bethel. Strumke got wiped out on the foul against Tate. I believe it was Anderson called for her first. It was a third foul against Bethel. Brings Fosness back in off of the bench. And Meg Clark will get her first break of the first quarter. One thing that I had mentioned off air was these freshmen, Strumkes and the Silmans and the Fosness of the world and the Torvik and the Kurtz, they don't play scared. They don't look like freshmen out there. They play fast and they play aggressive. This time, though, Silman had her pocket picked by Johnson, who will push the pace. Brentoy on about a 3 in transition and sent back for Simpson. And she'll size up Simpson now. Drives inside of the free throw line. Brentoy cross-court pass. Three-pointer on the way. That's Miller. Rebound Silman. Got bumped by Simpson. Lost it. It's in the corner. Loose ball. Still loose. Bethel somehow comes up with it. It was Cox. Brentoy, mid-range jumper. Knocked it down. So Cox comes up with the loose ball. And Brentoy has 5 points early. We're all tied up at 11 apiece. Minute 58 left in the first quarter. Strumke down low in the post. Back up top with it now. Fosness. Free throw line. Couple dribbles to her right before she turns it back up top for Silman. Now on the wing. Fosness didn't get much on it, but found Strumke, who had it stripped away. Now Fosness comes back up with it. 5 seconds to work with, and Fosness takes the drive to the basket and gets fouled. 2 shots upcoming for the freshman Fosness. And the foul against Hannah Simpson, the senior out of New Richmond, Wisconsin, is the 4th against Bethel in the first quarter. Wildcats haven't been called for a foul here in this first period. So Fosness to the stripe, where she's 5 of 5 on the season. This is her first. Fosness playing in her 9th game, starting her 3rd, and just missed her first free throw of the season. Averaging just under 3 points per game. She can put the Cats on top with her next one. And she missed both. Had been perfect, but Fosness misses both tries from the free throw line, and the game remains tied with 1:34 to go in the first quarter. Driving into the lane around Nelson. This shot no good there for Barker. Rebound Fosness. Garcia's back in, and so is Meg Clark. The 2 seniors pushing the pace. Clark into the front court with it. Back up top. Fosness reeled it in. Found Kurth. Baseline drive. Nothing there. Back up top. Nelson lines up a 3 and knocks it down. Big shot for Nelson. As Nelson puts the Wildcats on top by 3. 14-11 the new score. Brentoy tries one of her own and she knocks it down. We're all tied up at 14-14. 8 first quarter points for Brentoy. 48 seconds left in the first quarter. Good game here in St. Paul, as this is going to stay with the Wildcats. Last touch by Cox Out of bounds, and the Wildcats will have 19 seconds to operate in this tie game. 43 seconds. Down low. Kurth back for Nelson. Now Meg Clark drives with the left hand. Outside, Garcia three-pointer. That rattled in and out, and the rebound, Johnson, who was fouled right away by Morgan Kurth. Kurth's first foul in the first against St. Kate's in 9.5 minutes of basketball. This first quarter had good pace, good rhythm for both teams. All tied up. Bretoy's been the hot hand. She'll defer for Cox, long two-pointer. Rebound, Kurth. Now Nelson has it. Nelson, nifty pass down low. Kurth just had to keep it alive. Might have led her a bit too far. And she threw it into the hands of Hannah Johnson. Barker with 9 seconds to work with in a tie game. Bethel will have the last shot. Pass goes down low, and a foul's going to be called against St. Kate's. I think it's Meg Clark's first foul. And it is. No, they say Emma Nelson. That's actually a good break for St. Kate's that Nelson gets called for the foul, not Clark. 4 seconds left for Bethel. They'll get it in for Bretoy. She'll go around the screen to her right. Got picked up by Nelson. Just to the left of the free throw line. Her shot is short. And we go to the second quarter all tied up. Our first break in the action on this Saturday. We're all tied up at 14 apiece, and you're listening to Wildcat Basketball. Close one at the Butler Center.
Minnesota's classic resorts, tuning its strings, taking the stage 1,000 feet below the earth in an underground state park, and whispering through the trees at Tetagooch. It's magic, and it's waiting to be discovered, only in Minnesota. Visit exploreminnesota.com.
Hungry before or after the game? Visit one of the 27 locations of Noodles & Company around the metro area. For menu, hours, locations, and online ordering, go to noodles.com.
Wildcats defense this season has been really good, especially from three-point range. On Wednesday night, the Wildcats held St. Mary's, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the MIAC, to just 12% from behind the arc. Overall, the Wildcats, they're holding opponents to 27% shooting the basketball from the three-point line, the third lowest percentage in the MIAC at an average of 10 steals as well per game this season. And this first quarter was no exception. The Wildcats had 3 steals. And Bethel had a pretty good quarter, though, shooting the three ball. They were 2 of 5, 40%. The Wildcats shoot 6 of 16 for 37%. Bethel, through the first 10 minutes, 42% from the floor. And I mentioned the 2 of 5 shooting the three. Johnson for Miller, and now a foul, and it's going to go against Bethel. It's Barker who got tangled up with Fosness, her second foul. So Barker called for her second foul, the first here against Bethel in this second quarter. It just comes 13 seconds in. Now Fosness in transition. Her layup's off, out of bounds, and last touch by Bethel. Kirchhoff couldn't reel it in. Wildcats have dominated on the glass, 14-5 rebounding advantage for St. Kate's. Down low, Garcia wide open. So Garcia with 4 points. Wildcats reclaim the lead at 16-12. Now Barker for Anderson. Bethel trailing 16-14. Johnson surveys the defense at the top of the key. Now Miller has it. She lost Meg Clark in the process. She'll kick left side. Barker three-pointers way off. Rebound Anderson, weak side, and she's able to put it back in easily. Good start for Tate Anderson, getting it going, rebounding the basketball, and already with 6 points. Now Radford, and her shot blocked by Johnson. It'll be St. Kate's ball. It was blocked out of bounds. Wildcats will have 23 seconds left on their shot clock with 9 minutes to go in the first half. All square, 16 apiece. Radford will trigger in. Garcia coming off 2 games where she set a career best in scoring and already off to a good start here today, and that continues. Garcia has 6 points. It's 18-16. St. Kate's by 2. Anderson, the very dangerous sophomore, guarded by Kurth. Now here comes Miller, and she was fouled. We'll see if this foul is called on the floor, if it'll send Miller to the free throw line. The foul's against Faustness. That's the first foul against Faustness, and they're going to say it was prior to that shot. So Bethel will get a fresh shot clock and the basketball. Johnson guarded by Clark. That's a mismatch, and Johnson's shot is no good off of the window. Rebound for Kurth. She works the ball ahead for Garcia, who has 3-on-3 into the front court. Radford, pump fake and a travel. Radford turns it over on the travel after the pump fake. And it'll be Bethel ball, trailing by 2. Wildcats have turned it over 7 times, and that's got to be an offensive foul. It is against Angie Kirchhoff, and she was shook up in the process. She went crashing into the lane, bowled over the defender, and I think Kirchhoff, the worst of that collision. She was definitely shaken up. It's an offensive foul against Kirchhoff. The senior called for her first. But it looks like, thankfully, Kirchhoff is all right. Mark to the left of a screen around Radford. She'll get it for Faustness on the wing left side. Now Garcia in the corner, dribbles away with the right hand, gets into the post, puts up a left-handed layup. That's no good. Rebound. It looked like Kurth had it, and it's going to be a jump ball. It'll stay with St. Kate's. On this end with 7:51 to go in the second quarter. Everybody looking up right now at St. Ben's and St. Thomas. 5-0 record so far in the MIAC. Blazers 11-1 overall. St. Thomas 10-2 with a 5-0 record. On their heels, Gustavus at 4-1. The Augies at 3-2, and I understand they won today, so they're now 4-2. Augsburg women. Oh, they're playing right now. Pardon me. They're 3-2 coming into today. Then you have Bethel Concordia at 500. Carleton, St. Mary's, and St. Kate's all at 2-3. Hamlin and Mack looking up at them at 1-4. And St. Olaf in the cellar right now at 0-5. Radford off the window. Wildcats by 4. Radford with 5 points on the afternoon here in the first half. It's a 20-16 lead. Blue collar effort by the Wildcats to hold on to this 4-point lead. Here comes Abby Miller. That layup's off. Rebound by Detman, who's in for the first time. Now Garcia on the fast break, and she scores. Beauty of a pass finds Garcia. She has 8 points, and John Herbrichsmeyer has to take a timeout. The Wildcats are playing great in the first half. They lead it by 6, 22-16 the score. Cats on top from St. Paul.
Hey Wildcat fans, friendly reminder to join us this year in supporting Wildcat Athletics and our sponsors, E&E Masonry, the Newman family, Becker Floors, ProTech Design, and Munchies Frozen Yogurt.
Twin Cities Orthopedics offers a full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians to the University of St. Catherine's, Augsburg College, Hamlin University, and others. Visit tcomn.com.
McGough.
Bring it back into the Butler Center with the Wildcats on top 22-16 with 7:07 left in the second quarter. Busy day around the conference. We'll check that out-of-town scoreboard for you as the day goes along. This Bethel team was picked 3rd in the preseason polling. Now this out of the Royal timeout. 3-pointer on the way. Vavra, that's short. Rebound, Meg Clark got tied up. And the arrow belongs to the Royals, so it'll be Bethel basketball. On the women's side of the basketball ledger, right now they're in the second quarter. With 6:34 to go, and the Augies up 18-15 against St. Olaf. Gustavus hosting Concordia. No score there from St. Peter. 3-pointer on the way, and it's knocked down nicely by Jasmine Bretoy. She has 11 of Bethel's 19 points. The Wildcats' lead is just 3. Bretoy keeping the Royals in this thing. Garcia around Radford to her left. Now Fosness for Meg Clark. Gets a screen from Detman. Goes that way with the right hand. Clark right through the defense. Couldn't finish it. Loose ball. Detman had it. Clark dives on it. It's a jump ball. She got tied up with Simpson, and it's St. Kate's ball. How about that dive by Clark for that loose ball? Like her life depended on it. I'll tell you, though, if you're a basketball fan, you could watch those two Clarks play basketball forever. I mean, they play so hard. And that time it was Meg, like I said, diving for that loose ball like her life was on the line. And again, if you watch enough basketball, and the Wildcats have 3 seconds to shoot this ball, you kind of grow numb to it, as Radford will get this thing in, and then I'll elaborate on that take with the Wildcats by 3, and Radford couldn't get it in. It's a 5-second violation. But what I was going to say is, if you want to know what that feels like and you have wood flooring in your kitchen, set a ball in the corner, dive for it, full extension, see how long it takes you to get up, because that's what Meg Clark just did on that last possession. It's not pleasant. It's not pleasant to dive head first onto a wood floor, full weight. That time Clark deflected it out of bounds. Wildcats holding on to this 3-point lead. Bethel riding a 4-game winning streak. 2 of those games in conference, at St. Mary's and at St. Olaf. Simpson was wide open, decided rather to put it on the floor, and now she lost it. It's a turnover. Silman has it. Got it for Meg Clark. Clark drives in, and she got just clobbered. Whoa, she got clobbered by Hannah Simpson. It's going to be the second foul against Simpson. It'll put Clark on the free throw line. The second foul against Bethel in this second quarter. And Meg Clark is going to be sore tomorrow between diving on the floor every other second and that foul from Simpson. Very reliable free throw shooter, 83% on the season, already with 2 points on the afternoon. Clark started all 13 games this season for Don Mulhern, averaging just under 9 points a game, 4.5 boards, shooting 37% from the floor, and goes 2 of 2 from the free throw line. So Clark has 4 points, and she'll get a breather for her troubles. 24-19 the score. Wildcats on top by 5. Now Cox for Simpson. He'll go down low with it. Layup no good there for Pearson. You can tell John Herbrichmeyer is frustrated. Pretty much his whole bench is on the floor right now. The starters, by and large, getting a breather. Here comes Skwarek on the drive baseline. Her shot was blocked, and Simpson will lead Bethel out on the run. Now she'll get it back for Cox as the Wildcats retreat and play defense. Yeah, not one starter on the floor right now for Bethel. Retoy's shot is off. Simpson offensive rebound. Her long two is way off. Cox the rebound. She stepped out of bounds. Wildcat ball. Now Johnson and Kirchhoff back in, but that was 5 substitutions on the floor for Bethel that last sequence. Wildcats last season were blown out by Bethel in what was one of their worst games of the season. This year, leading by 5 with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Radford, nifty pass for Nelson, who somehow kept it alive. Somehow didn't travel with the ball behind her back. Wildcats might have gotten away with one. Radford, left-handed drive. That layup is high up of the window, no good. A rebound by Cox and a foul against the Wildcats. Brooke Torvik is called for her first. You'd have to pull the room on that one. If Nelson, when she went behind the back there, if she might have traveled, and the Wildcats pushed their luck, managed to get a shot up. 24-19 the score. If you're just joining us, St. Kate's leading by 5. Redtoy's been the hot hand, and she'll line another one up and knock it down. She has a baker's dozen. She averages 7 a game, scored 14 against St. Olaf, already with 13. She's got 13 of Bethel's 21 points, and they've all been on jump shots. Silman tried to get it down low. That pass was deflected away. Good defense by Hannah Johnson and a turnover for St. Kate's. They've gotten a tad out of rhythm offensively right now, the Wildcats. But the defense still looks good as Silman stole it away. And it's Wildcat ball as Cox couldn't come up with it. Here comes Garcia, Clark, and Kurth. That's offense coming in off of the bench. And Whitney in for Bethel, the junior out of New Brighton, St. Anthony Village High School. 3:49 left in the first half. Wildcats leading by 3. Thanks for spending a part of your weekend with us. From the Butler Center, Garcia. Or Silman now down low for Garcia. Outside Radford. She'll try to get and knock it down. Whoa, Radford. Radford has 8 points. The lead is 6. Radford came into the game 1 of 17 shooting the 3. She's taken 2 3-pointers, has made them both. 27-21 now. Johnson on a 3-pointer. That's no good. Loose ball. Whitney had it. Clark had it. This will come down to the officials. They'll say it's Bethel ball. Last touch by Clark and Silman. (27-21) the score. Here's Anderson, who was very good early in this one. Anderson down low for Johnson. Layup is off. Rebound, Radford. And Garcia into the front court with it. Silman back for Garcia. Thought about a 3 instead. Meg Clark with 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Left side. Now Silman for Radford. Into the corner for Garcia. She's beyond the arc as the Bethel bench claps for defense. Garcia for Kurth. Floater, way off. Johnson rebound. And Bethel working quickly. Whitney into the corner. 3-pointer, Miller. Rebound, Clark. And a foul against the Royals. That's going to go against Angie Kirchhoff, her second. The 4th foul against Bethel, so 1 more, and St. Kate's will be in the bonus the rest of the way here in the second period. Reminder, folks, check out Adam Nyberg, Coldwell Banker Burnett Real Estate, 651-329-5514. Experienced professional. Give him a call once again, 651-329-5514. Proud sponsor, PJSportsOnline.net's coverage of MIAC Athletics as Garcia got trapped in the corner and stepped out of bounds. Turnover with the Wildcats up by 6. Wildcats shooting the 3 are 3 of 4 on the afternoon. Anderson lost it. She's guarded by Fosness closely. Now Anderson hands off for Whitney. Tried to get it for Miller, but it was kicked by Clark as she went diving for it. One taped up leg kicking that one. Now pass comes in. It's stolen away by Silman. Don Mulhern wanted the timeout, didn't get it, and the Wildcats turn it away. Don Mulhern wanted that timeout, and the official didn't give it to him. When Silman came up with the ball right in front of Don Mulhern and was pressured, he wanted the timeout. He wasn't granted the timeout, and the Wildcats turn it over. And Coach Mulhern was plenty frustrated that he didn't get that timeout. Retoy down low, and a foul is going to go against Silman as she came around to guard Anderson and came curling around. The foul is the 3rd against St. Kate's here in the second quarter. And the 1st against Silman. That 3 rattled in and out. Radford another rebound. Wildcats off and running to the races with Clark. 1:24 left in the second quarter. Now Clark. Rainbow pass somehow found Silman into the corner. Garcia 3. Just high over the iron. Loose ball and booted out of bounds by Meg Clark. Garcia's 3 looked good when she let it go, but just went over the iron. And with 1:09 left. With 1:09 left. The Wildcats lead it by 6 here in the second quarter. Elsewhere around the conference, I mentioned Gustavus hosting Concordia. The Augies at home up by 10 against St. Olaf. They're in the second quarter, just 10 seconds till the half, and St. Mary's is down by 2 to St. Ben's. Bretoy finally misses on one of her jumpers, and Radford yet another rebound. 53 seconds left for St. Kate's, up by 6, 27 to 21. Silman. Now it's Fosness, guarded by Anderson. Good matchup of good young players there. Clark drives, dishes, Kurth layup is off. No foul called. Loose ball, Silman's got it. The Wildcats got another shot at this. They've got 27 seconds left on the shot clock, 29 on the game clock. And Don Mulhern will take a timeout with his team up 6, 27 seconds left in the first half. And the Wildcats will have the ball when we come back. You're listening to Wildcat Basketball on TJSportsOnline.net.
Hungry before or after the game? Visit one of the 27 locations of Noodles & Company around the metro area. For menu, hours, locations, and online ordering, go to noodles.com.
Tonight's game brought to you by Jimmy John's, with over 60 locations across the metro area to serve you with gourmet sandwiches. They're delivered freaky fast, freaky fresh, and freaky good. Jimmy John's also caters parties large and small. Freaky fast, freaky good. That is Jimmy John's, a proud sponsor of St. Kate's Athletics.
Well, really good game going on here in St. Paul's. We welcome you back in, Matt Nelson, alongside of our capable engineer, the best in the business, Glenn Thompson. Thanks for joining us here on this Saturday afternoon. Glad you could spend a part of your weekend with the MIAC and our women's basketball. 13 on the shot clock, 15 on the game clock. Clark or Silman. Now it's Fosness. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Silman drives. Floater off the elbow. Oh, lucky roll for Silman. 2 seconds left on the game clock. And Bethel's not even going to manage to get a half-court shot off. The Wildcats, a great first half. They'll go into the locker room through 20 minutes of basketball, leading Bethel 29 to 21. They were led by Radford's 8 points. Alexis Garcia had 8 as well. And those two trailed just Bretoy, who scored 13 in the first half to lead all scorers. But St. Kate's, despite Bethel coming in with such a great winning streak, they lead this 29 to 21. We've played 20 minutes of basketball from St. Paul. Let's break with the players. When we come back, we'll look back at the first half stats, preview the second half of what should be a thriller. The Wildcats will try to hang on and put their record to 7-6, go above 500 here in 2018. Both teams on a streak. From St. Paul and the Butler Center.
McGough Construction, building for the next generation. They have an unsurpassed reputation for quality workmanship, creative value engineering, and innovative solutions, delivering projects on time and on budget. At the heart of who they are, McGough Construction values the passion and commitment that drives their reputation for quality. Learn more at www.mcgough.com.
A reminder, tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Goodmanson Construction, the Opus Group, People's Electric Co-op, and the Ryan Company. Go Cats!
Shapco Printing, a full-service print solution provider, producing the highest quality print communications, reliably and consistently to customers across the globe. Shapco has received numerous awards from a variety of prestigious organizations. Located at 1109 Zane Avenue North in Minneapolis. For more information or to contact us, check us out online, www.shapco.com.
On your way to or from the game or anytime, visit your area Little Caesars. There is one just off the St. Kate's campus at 635 Snelling Avenue South. Call ahead with your order, 651-699-5551. Providing innovative food and beverage solutions since 1955 is Midwest Vending. Servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com.
Loeffler Companies offer efficiency, flexibility, productivity, speed, and quality support for all of your office technology and service needs. From copiers, printers, and managed print services to phone systems, IT solutions, and much more. Contact Loeffler to learn more. Thank you, Loeffler, for your support of Wildcat Athletics.
In Minnesota, we golf differently. Sure, we count our birdies. And if you're lucky, an eagle. You can plan on a few mulligans in the land of 10,000 water hazards. If you can call Lake Superior a water hazard. And when the fairway turns into a deer crossing, well, that's just par for the course. So take the cart path less traveled, only in Minnesota. Visit exploreminnesota.com.
Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines, Inc., dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation, 888-670-8068, or visit their website, northfieldlines.com.
Twin Cities Orthopedics offers a full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians to St. Catherine University, Augsburg College, Hamlin University, and others, from the pros to college and high school, and beyond to the weekend athlete as well, the weekend warrior. Visit tcomn.com.
Klein Nissan, your home for new and used Nissans, serving the entire Twin Cities area from Maplewood. And when your new or used vehicle needs auto service or car repair, visit them at 3090 Highway 61 North. Klein Nissan. Thanks for letting us prove our passion and dedication to the Nissan brand.
Hey Wildcat fans, Matt Nelson back with you, and I want to remind you that if you're enjoying today's game, to check out some of the great sponsors of St. Kate's Athletics. They not only make tonight's broadcast possible, but they also enhance the student-athlete experience at St. Catherine University. Twin Cities Orthopedics, Universal Athletics, Northfield Lines, Midwest Vending, Best Western in Bloomington, Cone Elevators and Escalators, Klein Nissan, U.S. Bank, Jimmy John's, Loeffler Business Solutions, McGough Construction, Shapko Printing, the Hickey Family, Eckberg and Lammers, Attorneys at Law, the DLR Group, Daddy and Gardner, Attorneys at Law, E&E Masonry, the Newman Family, Becker Floors, Protect Design, Munchie's Frozen Yogurt, Goodmanson Construction, the Opus Group, People's Electric Co-op, and the Ryan Company. Go Cats!
Helping to support Wildcat Athletics is Abbott Paint and Carpet, a family-owned and run company with the experience and knowledge to help you with your paint and decorating projects, with locations in St. Paul, White Bear Lake, and Stillwater. Online at abbottpaint.com. Keep up with the activities of TJ Broadcast Services on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at TJ Sports Online.
In a crackling fire, it's there, bubbling at the headwaters of the Mississippi, glowing inside the canvas walls of a yurt, basking by the lake at one of Minnesota's classic resorts, tuning its strings, taking the stage 1,000 feet below the earth in an underground state park, and whispering through the trees at Tetagooch. It's magic, and it's waiting to be discovered, only in Minnesota. Visit exploreminnesota.com.
Hungry before or after the game? Visit one of the 27 locations of Noodles & Company around the metro area. For menu, hours, locations, and online ordering, go to noodles.com.
Tonight's game brought to you by Jimmy John's, with over 60 locations across the metro area to serve you with gourmet sandwiches. They're delivered freaky fast, freaky fresh, and freaky good. Jimmy John's also caters parties large and small. Freaky fast, freaky good. That is Jimmy John's, a proud sponsor of St. Kate's Athletics.
Twin Cities Orthopedics offers a full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians to the University of St. Catherine's, Augsburg College, Hamlin University, and others. Visit tcomn.com.
McGough Construction, building for the next generation. They have an unsurpassed reputation for quality workmanship, creative value engineering, and innovative solutions, delivering projects on time and on budget. At the heart of who they are, McGough Construction values the passion and commitment that drives their reputation for quality. Learn more at www.mcgough.com.
A reminder, tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Goodmanson Construction, the Opus Group, People's Electric Co-op, and the Ryan Company. Go Cats!
Shapco Printing, a full-service print solution provider, producing the highest quality print communications, reliably and consistently to customers across the globe. Shapco has received numerous awards from a variety of prestigious organizations. Located at 1109 Zane Avenue North in Minneapolis. For more information or to contact us, check us out online, www.shapco.com.
On your way to or from the game or anytime, visit your area Little Caesars. There is one just off the St. Kate's campus at 635 Snell Avenue South. Call ahead with your order, 651-699-5551. Providing innovative food and beverage solutions since 1955 is Midwest Vending. Servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com.
Loeffler Companies offer efficiency, flexibility, productivity, speed, and quality support for all of your office technology and service needs. From copiers, printers, and managed print services to phone systems, IT solutions, and much more. Contact Loeffler to learn more. Thank you, Loeffler, for your support of Wildcat Athletics.
In Minnesota, we golf differently. Sure, we count our birdies. And if you're lucky, an eagle. You can plan on a few mulligans in the land of 10,000 water hazards. If you can call Lake Superior a water hazard. And when the fairway turns into a deer crossing, well, that's just par for the course. So take the cart path less traveled. Only in Minnesota. Visit exploreminnesota.com.
Transporting Wildcat athletes is in the capable hands of Northfield Lines, Inc., dedicated to ensuring that your travel experience is a positive one. Call to request a quote or to make a reservation, 888-670-8068, or visit their website, northfieldlines.com.
Twin Cities Orthopedics offers a full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians to St. Catherine University, Augsburg College, Hamlin University, and others, from the pros to college and high school and beyond to the weekend athlete as well, the weekend warrior. Visit tcomn.com.
Klein Nissan, your home for new and used Nissans, serving the entire Twin Cities area from Maplewood. And when your new or used vehicle needs auto service or car repair, visit them at 3090 Highway 61 North. Klein Nissan. Thanks for letting us prove our passion and dedication to the Nissan brand.
Hey Wildcat fans, Matt Nelson back with you, and I want to remind you that if you're enjoying today's game, to check out some of the great sponsors of St. Kate's Athletics. They not only make tonight's broadcast possible, but they also enhance the student-athlete experience at St. Catherine University. Twin Cities Orthopedics, Universal Athletics, Northfield Lines, Midwest Vending, Best Western in Bloomington, Cone Elevators and Escalators, Klein Nissan, U.S. Bank, Jimmy John's, Loeffler Business Solutions, Mick Goff Construction, Shapco Printing, the Hickey Family, Eckberg and Lammers, Attorneys at Law, the DLR Group, Daddy and Gardner, Attorneys at Law, E&E Masonry, the Newman Family, Becker Floors, Protect Design, Munchie's Frozen Yogurt, Goodmanson Construction, the Opus Group, People's Electric Co-op, and the Ryan Company. Go Cats!
Helping to support Wildcat Athletics is Abbott Paint and Carpet, a family-owned and run company with the experience and knowledge to help you with your paint and decorating projects, with locations in St. Paul, White Bear Lake, and Stillwater. Online at abbottpaint.com. Keep up with the activities of TJ Broadcast Services on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at TJ Sports Online. Hungry before or after the game? Visit one of the 27 locations of Noodles & Company around the metro area. For menu, hours, locations, and online ordering, go to noodles.com.
Tonight's game brought to you by Jimmy John's, with over 60 locations across the metro area to serve you with gourmet sandwiches. They're delivered freaky fast, freaky fresh, and freaky good. Jimmy John's also caters parties large and small. Freaky fast, freaky good. That is Jimmy John's, a proud sponsor of St. Kate's Athletics.
Hey Wildcat fans, friendly reminder to join us this year in supporting Wildcat Athletics and our sponsors, E&E Masonry, the Newman family, Becker Floors, ProTech Design, and Munchies Frozen Yogurt.
Twin Cities Orthopedics offers a full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians to the University of St. Catherine's, Augsburg College, Hamline University, and others. Visit tcomn.com.
McGough Construction, building for the next generation. They have an unsurpassed reputation for quality workmanship, creative value engineering, and innovative solutions, delivering projects on time and on budget. At the heart of who they are, McGough Construction values the passion and commitment that drives their reputation for quality. Learn more at www.mcgough.com.
Well, what a first half of basketball, especially if you're a Wildcat fan. We welcome you back into the Butler Center. Matt Nelson back with you on TJSportsOnline.net's coverage of MIAC women's basketball. Right now, a 29-21 advantage for St. Kate's. Don Mulhern plays a dozen players in that first half, and they scored the 29 points, but they out-rebound Bethel 26-14, including a dozen offensive rebounds. The Wildcats shoot 12 of 31 from the floor. That's 38%, but shooting the long ball, 3 of 5 from three-point range. That's good for 60%. Bethel, meanwhile, struggled shooting from long distance, 3 of 13. That's just, 3 of 13. That's just 23%. And the Royals shoot 31% in the first half, 9 of 29 from the floor. And as I mentioned, they were out-rebounded 26-14. In the last 6 quarters, the Wildcat defense has limited teams to just 6 of 38 shooting the three. They held St. Mary's to 3 of 25 on Wednesday night in those 4 quarters, and through the first 2 quarters here tonight against Bethel, just 3 of 13. So you add that up, 6 of 38 shooting the three-point shot. The defense has been spectacular. Bethel did not get to the free throw line in the first half. Wildcats got there twice. Clark made both of her free throws. Fosness missed both of hers. Once again, our engineer is Glenn Thompson. We thank all the sponsors of Wildcat Athletics, as well as Athletics Director Eric Stacy and our athletic communications contact Kelsey Whaley for all of their hard work making these broadcasts possible. And a reminder, call Adam Nyberg with Coldwell Banker Burnett Real Estate, 651-329-5514. It'll be Bethel's ball coming out of the halftime break, and John Herbertschmeyer is not starting this half with his original starters because Lainey Cox is out there, so not the original starting 5 for Bethel. They go left to right now wearing the road navy jerseys trimmed in the old gold and white piping. Wildcats will defend in the home golds trimmed in purple and white. Three-pointer coming up. Miller, opening possession for Bethel. That shot was no good. Rebound Barker. An offensive board for Bethel and a turnover as Barker couldn't connect with Kirchhoff. A miss and a turnover for Bethel on their first possession. The Wildcats lead it by a score of 29-21. 8-point lead for St. Kate's. Kurth has it. Goes to her right now. Crosses over to her left. Radford in the corner. Couple dribbles there for the sophomore. Nothing doing with Meg Clark down in the post. Now she gets it. Nearly lost it. Out beyond the arc. 7 seconds left to shoot and a turnover. Clark picked off by Kirchhoff into the front court. Miller layup and a foul. Oh! Miller has her first bucket of the afternoon. She scores 14 points a game. It's her first 2 points of the game, and a foul against Kurth wasn't quite stiff enough. It puts Miller on the free throw line, a chance at a three-point play. Miller on the season, very reliable, 87% free throw shooter. No surprise, she knocks it down. 3 points on the afternoon for Miller and a 5-point lead for St. Kate's. Bethel scores first in the second half. Garcia going to her right. Guarded tightly by Barker. Garcia, good first half with 6 points, and now a foul is going to be called against Bethel. And it's going to be called against Miller, trying to battle her way through that screen. It's the second foul against Miller, and Clark is hurt. I think Clark caught the worst of that foul. So Meg Clark will come over and get looked at by the trainers. I think she was the one that caught the worst of Kirchhoff. Clark has already been diving all over the floor, making tough baskets, and that time she got clocked. Now Silman lost it, couldn't get it back. Good defense by Miller, a turnover for St. Kate's, and a tough start for St. Kate's here in the second half. And Don Mulhern wants a timeout. He'll get it, 29-24 the score, as Coach Mulhern will talk over the first minute 20 of the second half with his club. Let's break with the teams.
On your way to or from the game or anytime, visit your area Little Caesars. There is one just off the St. Kate's campus at 635 Snelling Avenue South. Call ahead with your order, 651-699-5551. Providing innovative food and beverage solutions since 1955 is Midwest Vending. Servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com.
Second half from St. Paul with Bethel with the basketball. Barker nearly lost it. Now gets it to Kirchhoff in the corner. She'll bring it inside of the arc, pull up a short jumper. That's no good. And Alexis Garcia, the rebound for St. Kate's. St. Kate's has been the superior team on the glass so far in this one through 22 minutes of basketball. Not yet 2 minutes into the second half. If you're just joining us, welcome. And Nelson alongside of engineer Glenn Thompson. Strumke in for the first time in the second half. Now Silman looking for Radford. Couldn't get it there. Instead went down for Fosness. Bethel stole it but fouled in the process. Kirchhoff called for her third foul. A fresh shot clock in the ball for St. Kate's. Hannah Johnson, such a great rebounder, 9.5 a game, but the Wildcats team rebounding has won the day so far. Garcia just beyond the free throw line, knocked it down. Nice shot by Alexis Garcia. She's in double digits, the first for St. Kate's. She leads all scores for the Wildcats. Retoy, the leading scorer in the game. She's had 13, and she's back out on the floor here in the second half. Anderson drives. She lost her dribble. Fosness had it. She got bumped. Loose ball comes loose. Anderson comes down with it. Now Miller fouled by Strumke on the pump fake. The basket is going to be on the floor. There's no way that basket counts. The foul against Strumke is her first foul, and Bethel will inbound it in front of their bench. Meg Clark back in. That's good to see for Fosness after Clark got clobbered by Kirchhoff. 31-24 the score. Wildcats led by 8 at the half. They lead by 7 here. Strumke, loose ball, kept it alive, got it to Radford. A steal for Strumke. Now Silman in transition. He had it stripped away by Lainey Cox. It's out of bounds and it's Wildcats ball. Cox came in there and just clawed that thing away from St. Kate's. But the Wildcats will keep the ball. Silman for Garcia. Now Silman on the wing. Ratoya all over her. Now Strumke has it, guarded by Cox. Clark in the post. She was stripped. And it'll be Wildcats ball. No doubt Clark was trying to get it to the basket in the post. And that's a good battle to watch. Miller and Clark, two tenacious guards. Ball comes in quickly for Clark, and again she had it stabbed away. And Clark saying, how is that not a foul? I think she wanted the foul call against Miller, didn't get it. So the Wildcats will reset. Meg Clark's going to need a few days off. Maybe from practice. She has gotten beat up here today. 4 seconds left to work with. Silman, extra pass for Radford, who leans into one. Radford joins Garcia in double digits scoring, and the Wildcats push their lead to 9. Anderson guarded by Radford. Bethel with the ball, trailing by 9, 6:48 left in the third quarter. Retoy down low, and a score for Tate Anderson. She's got 8 points. Retoy, the nice pass for Anderson. Now she steals it from Silman, and a foul is going to be called against Clark in the backcourt. Miller had the basketball. Clark reached in, created the contact, and was called for the foul. The first foul against Clark. The third foul against St. Kate's here in the third quarter with 6:31 to go in this third period. We've had 6 points scored through the first, 3.5 minutes here. Very low score, and the Wildcats will take that all day long. They like these low-scoring, blue-collar hustle games. Right place, right time kind of games. As Barker was stripped and throws it into the hands of Meg Clark. Turnover for Bethel. Cats on the run. Clark or Silman. She'll let loose on a three-pointer. That's off. Nelson had the rebound, lost it. Now loose ball and a jump ball called. St. Kate's will keep it. They've got the arrow and they'll keep the ball. Now Radford in for Clark. She lost Miller nicely. Jump shot up and good. Nice shot. Meg Clark now with 6 points. Clark has 6. The lead is 11. 5:53 left in the third quarter. It's at 11. It's a 9-point lead. 35-26. Three-pointer, no good for Bethel. Rebound. Silman, who's been great off of the bench, though she lost it, booted it out of bounds. Bethel ball. And Don Mulhern is going to reach back into his bench for Detman, who will relieve Radford, and Kurth, who will call Silman back over to the bench. Don Mulhern's bench, though, has played very well in this one. Not a ton in the way of scoring, but lots of rebounds and defense and energy. It's a three for Retoy, and she knocks it down. Retoy has 16 points. It's 35-29. Cats on top, second half. Retoy has been so good with her jumper today. Averaging just 7 a game, but I mentioned she was great last time out against St. Olaf, and a jump ball is going to be called as Nelson waved the ball in front of Tate Anderson, who stripped it away from her. Royals have the arrow, and it's Bethel's ball. Momentum right now seems to be tilting a little bit towards the Royals bench. And you know that Don Mulhern isn't going to be able to stash Radford and Garcia on that bench for long. I would think we'll see them back in quickly. Anderson on the wing. Now Johnson, who's stuck on 2 points for Anderson outside. Retoy is the hot hand, and she knocks another one down. Retoy has 19 of Bethel's 32 points, and it's a 3-point game, and a foul is going to be called. It's going to send Torvik to the free throw line to shoot 2. So Torvik to the line as she got hammered going to the basket, and Torvik a chance to build on the 3-point lead for St. Kate's. First free throw good for Torvik. Torvik played 7 minutes in the first half off of the bench. And a good trip to the stripe for Torvik. She goes 2 of 2. 37-32, the new score. Wildcats by 5. They'll pressure the basketball. Miller handled it sweetly into the front court. Brentoy into the corner. Now they go down low for Anderson, who lost it, and a foul is going to be called against Anderson. She lost the ball and crashed into Torvik's backside. A foul against Anderson is her second, and it'll be Wildcats ball. It's the 4th foul against Bethel here in the third quarter, in a quarter that looks destined for both teams to wind up in the bonus. 4 fouls against Bethel, 3 so far against St. Kate's. Radford gets it in for Clark. She'll muscle her way past Miller into the front court. Looks down low, nothing there. Garcia is back in, so is Radford, just as we thought. Don Mulhern couldn't stash them on the bench for too long. Torvik to the basket, and her shot blocked. Rebound, Hannah Johnson. floater, no good for Bethel. That was Whitney. Rebound for Kurth, Morgan Kurth. The youngster for the veteran Garcia. Wildcats by 5. Need a bucket here. Kurth. Now Radford at the free throw line. 1-on-1. Pump fakes. Working against Simpson. At her shot blocked by Johnson, who came over to help. Now Bethel gets out and runs. Here comes Johnson, and her shot was blocked by Clark, but a foul in the process will send Johnson to the free throw line to shoot 2. 6'1" junior is a very good free throw shooter, always has been. Now an upperclassman, but has always had a good touch from the line. This season, shooting 81% from the line. Her first trip of the afternoon. She makes good on her first. This is just the second trip of the afternoon to the free throw line for Bethel. With 3:33 left in the third quarter. And Johnson goes 2 for 2. 37-34. Bethel looks like they want to pressure this ball in the backcourt. Garcia against Bretoy. Now they'll back it all off, and Garcia will march it on into the front court without much resistance. Hand it off for Clark. Wildcats clinging to that 3-point lead. Led by 8 at the half. 3-pointer by Fosness. Might have been blocked. They say it wasn't, though, because it's short and out of bounds. Fosness looked like maybe at the last second she tried to pull that one back down, but it was too late. Fosness still scoreless on the afternoon. 3:12 to go in a good game. Bethel, preseason pick to finish third, trailing. This one, though, would tie it up. Shot no good. Rebound Kirchhoff. They'll reset. They'll go into the post. Johnson down low. Left-handed layup off. Clark boxes out. Radford corrals the rebound and is going to be tied up for a jump ball. Wildcats have the arrow. They'll get the ball. Radford closing in on another double-double. She's got the 10 points. And I believe 8 rebounds. 2:54 left. Here comes St. Kate's. Fosness pulls up. Radford in the backcourt. Radford, great versatile player. Garcia in the front court, just inside of half court, working against Bretoy, who will guard her. Garcia to her right. Has a screen to her left if she wants it. Instead into the corner. Back up top for Jackie. Radford. 2 dribbles there. Now crosses over. Drives into the lane. Loses it. Simpson has it and steals it away for Bethel. Now Whitney into the front court. Does not have numbers, but she'll drive anyway. Go behind the back. Had her shot blocked, but a foul in the process. The foul against Fosness, who's having a tough go of it here these last couple minutes. Foul against Fosness is her second, and I think it's going to get Strumke into the game. Fosness foul is her second, the 5th against St. Kate's. Here in the third quarter, sends Bethel to the stripe for 2 shots. First one's no good. For Whitney. Now here comes Strumke, and she will relieve Fosness. Second shot for Whitney. That's short, so she goes 0-2 from the free throw line, but an offensive rebound for Bethel. Anna Johnson snuck in there. Bretoy pulls up, knocks it down. She just about hasn't missed today. 21 points, leads all scorers for Bretoy. Off of the bench, it's a 1-point game, 37-36. Wildcats got to get some offense going, or Bethel's going to leave them in the dust. They're just too good offensively. Here comes Strumke. She scores and one. Big bucket. Strumke comes in, gets the dime from Radford, draws the foul, and goes to the free throw line. 4 points on the afternoon for Strumke. And again, a chance from the free throw line. Wildcats on the afternoon, 2 of 4 from the stripe. And big shot for Strumke. Wildcats really needed those 3 points. Puts their lead back to 4. You got the sense that on that possession, if the Wildcats turned it over or something like that, that Bethel was really starting to feel it. That's a big 3-point play in the grand scheme of things. Barker into the front court. Into the corner now. That is Hannah Simpson. She drives, lost Strumke, but had her shot blocked by Kurth. Nice job by Morgan on that help defense. Now Kurth in transition. Finds Strumke to the basket. She lost it, got it for Silman. She lost it and chased it down. Frenetic. Kurth to the basket. Oh, she was stripped. Oh, Barker just pulled that ball right out of her hands. Now Barker ahead for Bretoy. She'll let it loose again and knock it down. Well, of course. She's got 24 of Bethel's 39 points. More than half of their scoring has come from Bretoy. Clark's layup is no good. And a foul is going to be called against St. Kate's on the rebound. I think it was Strumke who got tangled up with Johnson. And let's see, it's the 5th foul. It'll be free throws for Bethel. Bonus the rest of the way for the Royals. And it is a foul against Strumke. But Bretoy, 24 of the Royals' 39 points on the afternoon after that last three-pointer. Johnson will go to the free throw line with 4 points on the day after the second foul called against Strumke. Mentioned earlier, Johnson, very good free throw shooter, and she has her first. 81% on the season to go with just about a double-double, 13.5 points per game and 9.5 boards. And Johnson now with 6. And the Royals lead by 1. First lead for the Royals since I believe the opening bucket of the game. 41-40. Wildcats now trail. That was a 4-0 run by, actually a 5-0 run by Bethel after the 3 by Bretoy and the 2 free throws by Johnson. Now Silman after the pass from Strumke to the basket. Couldn't finish it off. Johnson the rebound. What's changed is Bethel's doing a better job on the boards right now than they were earlier on in the game. More effort on the boards. Barker down low for Johnson. She scores again. Hannah Johnson is coming on very strong right now. She has 8 points. Silman trapped in front of the Bethel bench. Got it back for Radford. Jackie behind the back. Clark got wiped out on a screen. Don Mulhern wanted the foul. Strumke lost it. It's out of bounds. Last touch by Bethel. Don Mulhern wanted the foul called as Clark got wiped out. Didn't get the call. And so the Wildcats, and now we've got a foul called against St. Kate's. A foul against Silman, and we'll be surprised if Don Mulhern manages to not get a technical foul. He wanted the foul called against Bethel, and now a foul called almost like out of spite against Silman. Don Mulhern was giving it to the officials. Silman gets called for the foul. Actually, Meg Clark got called for her 3rd foul. And Bethel will get the last shot. 8 seconds to go. Simpson drives. And her puts it up and scores as the buzzer sounds. It'll be a 5-point lead for Bethel. Simpson gets her first bucket of the game, and the Wildcats will head into the 4th quarter trailing it by 5. The new score through 30 minutes of basketball, Bethel 45, St. Kate's 40. And you're listening to Wildcat Sports on tjsportsonline.net.
Shapco Printing, a full-service print solution provider, producing the highest quality print communications, reliably and consistently to customers across the globe. Shapco has received numerous awards from a variety of prestigious organizations. Located at 1109 Zane Avenue North in Minneapolis. For more information or to contact us, check us out online, www.shapco.com.
On your way to or from the game or anytime, visit your area Little Caesars. There is one just off the St. Kate's campus at 635 Snelling Avenue South. Call ahead with your order, 651-699-5551. Providing innovative food and beverage solutions since 1955 is Midwest Vending. Servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com.
Loeffler Companies offer efficiency, flexibility, productivity, speed, and quality support for all of your office technology and service needs. From copiers, printers, and managed print services to phone systems, IT solutions, and much more. Contact Loeffler to learn more. Thank you, Loeffler, for your support of Wildcat Athletics.
Welcome you back into the Butler Center in what is a good game, but we've seen Bethel come on very strong in the third quarter. They lead 45-40 after trailing by 8 going into the locker room. Now Johnson, who had a great third quarter, has it for Barker. Wildcats reeling a bit right now. Need to get some stops, get some turnovers, and create some offense. Pass down low. Again, Johnson split a double team. Shot no good. Got her on rebound. Her putback is there. Hannah Johnson has 10 points, and she's carrying Bethel in the second half. 47-40. Bethel by 7. Now Silman picks up her dribble and gets fouled. Haley Barker called for her third foul. First foul against the Royals in this fourth quarter. Third against Barker, the sophomore out of Maple Grove. Garcia will trigger in for Meg Clark, who has just played her tail end off in this game. Here comes Meg to the basket. Her shot was blocked. Barker lost it out of bounds, and they'll say Bethel ball. Last touch by Clark. 9:09 left, and with the way Bethel shoots the three, and if they get their post players going, you got to be so careful right here if you're St. Kate's, because you can blink, look up at the scoreboard, and see Bethel up by double digits. Anderson has it in the corner. She'll drive against Meg Clark through contact, got to the basket and finished it off. Tate Anderson now has 10 points, and Bethel leads by 9. Bethel outscored St. Kate's 24-11 in the third quarter. Down low, Meg Clark. Big bucket. That is a big one. And Meg Clark has 8 points. Don Mulhern wants a timeout. He'll talk defense. Wildcats hanging in there tough. They're down by 7, led by as many as 9 here in the second half. You're listening to Wildcat Basketball.
McGough Construction, building for the next generation. They have an unsurpassed reputation for quality workmanship, creative value engineering, and innovative solutions, delivering projects on time and on budget. At the heart of who they are, McGough Construction values the passion and commitment that drives their reputation for quality. Learn more at www.mcgough.com. A reminder.
Well, we've seen this game has been a game of runs. St. Kate's played such great defense in the second quarter. They limited Bethel to just 7 points. Same could be said Royals and the defense they played against St. Kate's in the third quarter, holding them to just 11. So 49-42 your score. Cats trailing by 7. Still lots of basketball to go here. 8:35 left, but going to need some defense. Here comes Miller, baseline drive. Got by Radford. Might have had her shot blocked, and a rebound for Nelson. You know, a three-pointer or two from Garcia wouldn't hurt the cause here in the fourth quarter. That's what we got against St. Mary's. Let's see if Alexis can find some more of that late shooting magic here. Turnover stolen away. Anderson, pass ahead. Kirchhoff, layup fouled. And Kirchhoff will go to the line to shoot 2. A foul against St. Kate's is their first of the fourth quarter. And the foul is going to go against Emma Nelson, her second foul. Kirchhoff on the season, another good free throw shooter. 80%. Actually, Bethel as a team shoots well from the line, 72%. That's Kirchhoff, who averages 6.5 points per game, her first point of the afternoon, and she goes 2 of 2 from the line. Just that quickly, the Wildcats trail it by 9. Led by as many as 9. They've seen that swing the other way. Bethel pressuring the basketball. Torvik nearly lost it, managed to get it to Garcia in the front court. Now Torvik for Radford. Just inside of the arc. Torvik drives, and they're going to call a travel against Brook. Good defense by Bethel. Haley Barker stood her ground, and before the shot, they say that Torvik traveled. And Don Mulhern's going to send Fostness back in there for Torvik. And really, it's going to boil down to, can the Wildcats get something going offensively? They're playing so hard defensively, and they've created some opportunities, but open shots have been hard to come by here in the second half. Bethel has undoubtedly stepped up their defensive intensity. 7:30 to go. Kirchhoff had her pass deflected out of bounds, trying to get it to Miller. It'll stay with Bethel. They'll have a dozen seconds left on their shot clock. And this one's stolen away. Big play by Fosness. Got to finish it off. And Fosness fouled from behind. A foul against Bethel is their second of this fourth quarter. A foul against Barker is her fourth as she was chasing down Fosness. Fosness, for the second time this afternoon, goes to the free throw line. She missed on her first two. Have a chance here for a couple of crucial points. The Wildcats trailing here with 7:23 to go. First shot is good for Fosness. And these shots are critical. As Fosness goes 1 for 2, misses her second, but chases down the offensive board. Found Meg Clark. Her layup was blocked. No foul called as Clark's slow to get up underneath the Wildcat basket. It's a 5-on-4 for Bethel out of bounds. It'll stay with the Royals, and Clark is hurt. It's that right leg that's heavily bandaged and taped. So Clark will be tended to. Let's break with the players while Meg Clark gets looked at with the score. Bethel 51, St. Kate's 43.
Shapco Printing, a full-service print solution provider, producing the highest quality print communications, reliably and consistently to customers across the globe. Shapco has received numerous awards from a variety of prestigious organizations. Located at 1109 Zane Avenue North in Minneapolis. For more information or to contact us, check us online, www.shapco.com.
On your way to or from the game or anytime, visit your area Little Caesars. There is one just off the St. Kate's campus at 635 Snelling Avenue South. Call ahead with your order, 651-699-5551. Providing innovative food and beverage solutions since 1955 is Midwest Vending. Servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com.
Loeffler Companies offer efficiency, flexibility, productivity, speed, and quality support for all of your office technology and service needs. From copiers, printers, and managed print services to phone systems, IT solutions, and much more. Contact Loeffler to learn more. Thank you, Loeffler, for your support of Wildcat Athletics.
Bring you back in as you saw Meg Clark hobbled to the bench. They were looking at her left leg, and she was able to walk off of the court gingerly with some assistance. But the departure of Meg Clark with no Donica Cambryce, no Audra Clark, and now no Meg Clark, that's going to make a comeback very difficult to operate against a team with the caliber and quality that Bethel is. As a three-pointer is knocked down there by Abby Miller. Miller has 6 points. It's an 11-point lead for Bethel. But no Cambryce and no Clarks is going to make a comeback very difficult, like I said, against a team that's as good as Bethel is. And they are a very good team. Wildcats led by 9 in the third quarter. They trail by 11 here with 6:37 to go in the fourth in St. Paul. Radford puts her head down, drives. Layup is no good, and a foul is going to be called against Johnson. Radford to the line where this season she has struggled, 43% from the free throw line, but throw that out the window because she popped a couple of three-pointers in there earlier on in the game. And first shot good for Jackie. 11 points. Great game for Radford. Again, high-effort player, 4 of 7 from the floor, the 2 3-pointers, has the 8 rebounds, and goes 2 of 2 from the line. A dozen points for Radford. Wildcats' deficit is now 9. And I would assume that we've seen the last of Meg Clark for the afternoon. It doesn't look like she managed her way off the floor pretty gingerly. I'd be surprised. That's a better way to put it. Miller drives baseline. That shot is short. Rebound, Johnson, and a jump ball. It's Wildcat ball. And again, with 6:08 to go, and no Meg Clark. Really, about your only recourse is going to be a couple of Garcia three-pointers. Get you back in this thing quick as possible, and great defense. Silman hauls out the play, goes to her left by Fosness there. Has a screen from Miltz. Missed her. Now Radford has it. Top of the key, guarded by the talented Anderson. Miltz, guarded by Johnson. Miltz for Garcia. Around a screen. Let it go, Alexis. Left side now Miltz back for Alexis. Pump fake inside of the arc. Two-pointer. Knocked down. Nice shot by Garcia. She's got a dozen, and she has been so good this season, especially these last 3 games. Alexis Garcia has been undoubtedly the Wildcats MVP. She's keeping them in it. Wildcats down by 7. 54-47 the score. 5:39 to go. Bethel on top in St. Paul.
Loeffler Companies offer efficiency, flexibility, productivity, speed, and quality support for all of your office technology and service needs. From copiers, printers, and managed print services to phone systems, IT solutions, and much more. Contact Loeffler to learn more. Thank you, Loeffler, for your support of Wildcat Athletics.
In Minnesota, we golf differently. Sure, we count our birdies. And if you're lucky, an eagle. You can plan on a few mulligans in the land of 10,000 water hazards. If you can call Lake Superior a water hazard. And when the fairway turns into a deer crossing, well, that's just par for the course. So take the cart path less traveled. Only in Minnesota. Visit exploreminnesota.com.
Welcome you back into the Butler Center on the campus of St. Catherine University. Wildcats right now playing without Meg Clark, Audra Clark, Donica Cambrace out as well. 54-47 the score. Wildcats led by 8 at the half, led by as many as 9 in the third quarter before Bethel really came on with a surge late in the third period, and they lead at 54-47. Right now, Wildcats trailing it by 7 after that last score by Garcia. Garcia will guard Retoy, who has been so good in this one. She leads all scorers with her 24 points. Anderson for Kirchhoff. Down low, a pump fake there, Anderson. And that shot's no good. Miltz the rebound and a foul against Anderson. Pattern developing there. Anderson called for her third foul, and I think all 3 fouls have come after misses. Fighting to get the offensive board. 5:12 to go. Boy, a score would sure look nice on this possession if you're St. Kate's. Fosness pushes the pace. Radford into the front court for Miltz. And Garcia definitely the most reliable scorer out of these 5 on the floor right now. Miltz lost it. Loose ball. Miltz able to chase it down. Now Radford into the corner. Garcia looking to create something. Gets in the lane. Spins. Puts up a left-handed layup. That's no good. And it's out of bounds, Bethel ball. Nifty little move there by Garcia as she slammed on the brakes underneath the basket, but couldn't get that left-handed floater to go. Not many can quite like Audra Clark can on this team with that left hand of hers. 54-47, Bethel with the lead in the basketball, 4:34 to go. Johnson. Kirchhoff, now Johnson. Miltz nearly had it. Now into the corner, wide open 3, knocked down. Abby Miller has been much better in the second half. She has 9 points, averages 14 per game. The lead is 10 with 4 minutes to go, but the Wildcats staying alive. Garcia from Fosness. Alexis with 14 points. She had 47 in her last 2 games. Another strong showing here today with 14 against a great Bethel team. Retoy. Anderson has it now. Wildcats still fighting, still playing hard with 3:50 to go. Miller made her last one, now pump fake. Short jumper, that's high off of the window, no good. Anderson the rebound. Shot was blocked, but Fosness is going to get called for the foul in the process. It'll send Anderson to the free throw line. No, they're going to actually say Silman was the one who got Anderson, so Anderson to the stripe, 75% on the season. This free throw is short. It hasn't been her best game, but still in double digits scoring. She had 16 last time out against St. Olaf. 55% from the floor on this season. And Meg Clark did come back in. So just when I was saying we might have seen the last of her, she's tough as nails, and she's back in the game. Anderson's second shot is good. So Anderson goes 1 of 2. Meg Clark back in. That's a good sign for St. Kate's. Pass comes ahead. Garcia got behind the defense and scored. Alexis Garcia has 16 points. Wildcats trail still by 7. This is still anybody's game. Just when Bethel started knocking down those three-pointers and you thought they'd run away with it, the Wildcats have been able to find a way to stay in this thing. Bretoy had an open three, couldn't get the shot off. Instead, Barker for Bretoy, long three-pointer, no good. Rebound, Fosness is a big one. Big rebound for the youngster out of South Dakota. Now Garcia has it. Meg Clark will drive to the basket, fouled by Johnson, and Clark will go to the line to shoot two. She'll hobble over to the line on probably what's two bad wheels to the line. Meg Clark, I think, doesn't have to practice in between now and the next game because those wheels are, there's not a lot of tread left on those tires this afternoon. Clark at the free throw line. Shot is good. She's got 9 points. Makes it a 2-bucket game. Clark 83% on the season. And she goes 2 of 2. Got the friendly roll. Clark with 13 points. Inside of 3 minutes to go. It's a 5-point game. Barker behind the back dribbling. Tried to get it down low to Johnson. Stripped away by Radford, but back into the hands of Barker. That's a good break for Bethel. Anderson down low against Garcia. Kicks outside. Three-pointer for Johnson. Short. And Fosness another big rebound. Fosness getting it done on the glass in the fourth quarter. Garcia to the bucket. Layup no good, but a foul will send Alexis to the line to shoot two. Wildcats officially back in this thing with Garcia at the free throw line. So Garcia draws the fourth foul against Johnson. Pardon me, the fourth foul against Johnson. And Garcia will shoot two. First shot is a little bit heavy. .236 to go. Garcia's second is a good one. Alexis with 17 points. Morgan Kurth in. Silman to the bench. 4-point game. Wildcats have done well to deny Bethel those entry passes into the lane and have played better defense against the three in the latter stages of this fourth quarter. Anderson has it. Now it's Johnson. Barker beyond the arc. Anderson takes a good long look before going left wing for Barker. And now a foul away from the ball is going to be called against Bethel. Oh, it's against Anderson. A foul, a push, as she got tangled up with Meg Clark. And now John Herbrichsmeyer out there giving the officials an earful, and a timeout's taken on the floor. And a full timeout is taken. Let's do one with the players. Let's take one of our own. 2:14 to go. 58-54 the score. Bethel by 4, but the Wildcats on the comeback charge here in St. Paul.
Twin Cities Orthopedics offers a full spectrum of orthopedic care to individuals suffering sports-related problems and injuries. Their doctors are team physicians to the University of St. Catharines, Augsburg College, Hamline University, and others. Visit tcomn.com.
McGough Construction, building for the next generation. They have an unsurpassed reputation for quality workmanship, creative value engineering, and innovative solutions, delivering projects on time and on budget. At the heart of who they are, McGough Construction values the passion and commitment that drives their reputation for quality. Learn more at www.mcgough.com.
A reminder, tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Goodmanson Construction, the Opus Group, People's Electric Co-op, and the Ryan Company. Go Cats!
Shep.
How could you ever have a better game than this? The Wildcats led by as many as 9 in the third quarter. Then we saw Bethel go up by double digits, and here we are in the closing minutes, and it's just a 2-bucket game. Bethel 58, St. Kate's 54. Just a great game from wire to wire. And the tenacity of St. Kate's to not give up on this one. When Clark was hurt, Bethel was on a roll. They battled and battled and battled, hung in there, got enough buckets, and gave themselves a chance here at the end. Fosness for Radford, got it to Clark. She was fouled and won! What a pass. What a finish. 11 points for Meg Clark and a chance at a three-point play. 1:59 left. It's 58-56. Clark can make it a 1-point game. And does just that. Clark has a dozen points. And this is some guts that Meg Clark is showing. Wildcats need defense, need a stop, need a turnover. Down low, Anderson, double team, kicks outside. Bretoy open, and she has just been so good today. That's the last person in the world you wanted left wide open. She's got 27 points to lead all scorers. Bethel by 4, and she was wide open. Good pass by Anderson out of the double team. Now Garcia down low to the hot hand Clark. She got bumped, no foul called. Layup short. Bethel on the run. And Meg Clark got hammered on that layup try. Bethel by 4, 1:15 to go. Very surprised that wasn't a foul called against Meg Clark on that one. In the corner, Bethel 3. This would be a really bad one for St. Kate's. Instead, it's a little heavy. Rad for the rebound. 60 seconds to go. Wildcats not in a great hurry. Still plenty of time. Down low, Clark had it, lost it, dove for it. And John Herbrichsmeyer is going to get a timeout. Anderson picks it up on her knees, and Bethel will have the ball with 51 seconds to go, leading by 4 from the Butler Center when we come back. 51 seconds to go.
On your way to or from the game or anytime, visit your area Little Caesars. There is one just off the St. Kate's campus at 635 Snelling Avenue South. Call ahead with your order. 651-699-5551. Providing innovative food and beverage solutions since 1955 is Midwest Vending. Servicing organizations large and small throughout the Twin Cities, including St. Catherine's University. Proud to offer unwavering integrity, in-demand products, innovative technology, and personal attention. Give them a call at 952-707-1990 or visit MidwestVending.com.
Loeffler Company.
Welcome you back into St. Paul. TJSportsOnline.net's coverage of Wildcat Sports. Again, proud sponsor of TJSportsOnline.net. Call Adam Nyberg, Coldwell Banker Burnett Realty, 651-329-5514. 51 seconds to go. You're listening to Wildcat Basketball. Bethel up by 4 with 51 seconds to go, and they turned it over. Radford stole it away. Wildcats with a chance, down by 4. Garcia for Fosness. She drives. Now Alexis up top. Radford has it there. We'll give it one dribble to her left. Kurth makes a little pump fake before going back up top for Fosness. The youngster drives. Header shot blocked by Johnson. 32 seconds left, and the Wildcats have no choice but to play the foul game. Fosness, a strong drive to the basket, but great defense by the junior, Hannah Johnson, by way of Duluth. That would have been one big layup with the Wildcats down by 2. That was the third foul against St. Kate, so they got to commit 2 more, and Fosness will hang on for dear life against Kirchhoff for the 4th foul. And one more will send Bethel to the line. 30 seconds left now. Kirchhoff, 80% free throw shooter. That's probably where they're trying to go with it. Instead, Johnson comes up with it. That's not a much better situation. She's 81% free throw shooter. One thing that makes Bethel very dangerous late in games is just about you can get the ball into anyone's hands on the floor, and they're a capable free throw shooter. It's going to serve them well this second half of the MIAC season. So Johnson again to the free throw line up by 4. Now make it 5. 11 points for Johnson. Silman and Nelson come in. Fosness to the bench along with Kurth. Nelson, a capable 3-point shooter. Next one can make it a 6-point game, and Wildcats trail by that many. 12 points for Johnson. She goes 2 of 2. And Don Mulhern takes a timeout with his team down 6. 29 seconds to go.
McGough Construction, building for the next generation. They have an unsurpassed reputation for quality workmanship, creative value engineering, and innovative solutions, delivering projects on time and on budget. At the heart of who they are, McGough Construction values the passion and commitment that drives their reputation for quality. Learn more at www.mcgough.com.
A reminder, tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Goodmanson Construction, the Opus Group, People's Electric Co-op, and the Ryan Company. Go Cats!
Bring you back to the Butler Center with the Wildcats calling timeout, 63-57. This has been a fun game to watch, and I got a lot of respect for John Herbrichsmeyer and Don Mulhern. I think these are two of the class coaches in this conference, and the job that Don Mulhern has done with this Wildcats team, without Cam Bryce, without Audra Clark, to be 6-6 and 2-3 in the MIAC, and in the thick of things for a postseason berth. We've got a long way to go to talk about that, but to be in the thick of things is pretty awesome. Those 2 wins in the conference against St. Mary's and McAllister as well, that 5-point win back in December. 63-57 the score. Wildcats with the ball. Meg Clark going to the right. Clark played by Bretoy. She had a big 3-pointer here in the fourth quarter. Garcia back for Clark. She goes to her left hand. Now Nelson. Wildcats burning a lot of clock. Just 16 seconds left now. And another big play defensively by Johnson as Radford comes in and commits the foul. 13 seconds to go, and barring something very bizarre, it looks like Bethel is going to be in the driver's chair to close this thing out. And again, the very good free throw shooting of Johnson, that ace in the sleeve for the Royals. Third foul against Radford this afternoon. The sophomore, though, played well. Another double-double, or just about that, 13 points. Yeah, and 11 rebounds, so another double-double for Radford. Johnson's first free throw is good. And again, just 13 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. Johnson lived up to her reputation as a good free throw shooter here in the fourth quarter. 13 seconds to go. Meg Clark with the ball. Charging into the front court, weaving through a double team. Now picks up her dribble. Goes down low for Alexis. Shot no good. Johnson the rebound, and that's going to wrap this one up. Wildcats pull up, and they gave a great effort here today. Final score is 65-57. Again, Radford a double-double. Meg Clark played like no one I've ever seen. That was about as tough of an effort, wire to wire, as you're ever going to see. And Alexis Garcia, another great game with 17 points. But Jasmine Bretoy on the other side, 27 points. For Bethel, early, her scoring was the difference. For Bretoy, the point total, I mentioned the 27 points. Bretoy, 7 of 11 shooting the three. Bretoy, 7 3-pointers on 11 tries. She leads all scorers with 27 points. And for the Wildcats, 13 points from Meg Clark, along with 3 rebounds, 12 points, and 11 boards for Radford. 17 points for Garcia. Strumke off of the bench had 5. Bethel shoots 36% on their threes. St. Kate's 3 of 7 for 42%. Bethel 38% from the floor. St. Kate's shoots 40%. Both teams pretty good from the line. Bethel 10 of 13 for 76%. The Wildcats 12 of 16 at 75%. The Wildcats did end up out-rebounding Bethel 39-32, but much closer than it was at halftime. Bethel's new updated record is 8-4 overall. They're now 3-2 in the MIAC. For St. Kate's, they fall below 500 overall, 6-7, and now 2-4 in the MIAC. Next time out for St. Kate's after today's game against Bethel, a 2-game road trip at St. Ben's on Wednesday, a 7 o'clock tip-off for that one. And on the road Saturday, just up Snelling Avenue in the Midway neighborhood against Hamlin, 3 o'clock tip for that one. Next home game, the Cobbers on the 17th, a Wednesday night, 7 o'clock tip-off right here on TJSportsOnline.net's coverage. I'll be here as well for that one, Mr. Glenn Thompson. For Tom Witcheny, who was here today, Glenn as well. Thank you for spending a part of your weekend with us. This was an exciting game with lots of momentum swings, and the Wildcats battled their tail ends off. There's going to be a lot of fun basketball this season here at the Butler Center for Don Mulhern and this young team. 65-57 is your final score. Until we talk again, Bethel wins, and go Cats.